Hello guys, my name is John. I'm a software engineer at Zoop Innovation here in Brazil. And today I'm gonna show you how you can resolve some Git problems related to put some branch in a specific commit. Sometimes when you are working with Git flow and there are just only one staging environment and have multiple teams working in one microservice for inner source requirements. Maybe you want to reset some branch to a specific commit, but in some companies, the branches like develop the main branch are branches that are protected. So you cannot make some kind of push force. You cannot delete the branch and create a new one in order to reset the branch stage. So you need to use some tricks with Git in order to reset the branch to a specific commit state. And maybe you are trying to put some code into production, but you doesn't really know the right difference between the code that is in production and the code that you are deploying to production. Those codes are placed into production using some packages, some closed packages that are the commits of your branches. So in order to know what is the specific changes that are going to production, that are going to be in operational state, you need to make some differences between those commits in order to see the right difference that is really getting into production. I have a simple project here. Without further ado, we have a simple project here. Let's simulate that we are working with Git flow. I will make it Git status here. I have a hello world folder here. I will create a develop branch. I need to pass the -b here, dash b. Okay, so the develop branch and the main branch is now those branches are exactly the same. They differ in name and other meta attributes, but in related to commit history, the two branches are actually the same branches. If I do a git log here, I have an initial commit here in my develop branch. Look at the hash commit. It's A1DE. If I go to my main branch, check out main, and do the same, issue the same command, I have the same commit here. Those branches have a very short commit history, only one commit, but those are equal because I branched the main branch, creating a new branch called develop. So let's create another commit here, another branch here, better to say. Check out -b feature, yes, only feature. Actually, I did something wrong here. Let me go back, check out branch main. Let me delete the -b, the feature branch, because I want to create a feature branch from the develop branch. So if I do git branch here, I have only two branches on my local repository. So I will create a new branch here, git checkout develop. Now git checkout -b feature. Yes, now all the three branches that are here in my local repository have the same history. If I do a git log here, I have the same commit, the same history, only one. All of those branches are equal the same. There are no difference between the history of commits of those branches. So let's imagine that I'm using Git flow here and I start to make changes in my local repository. I was required to make some changes in the README file. Let me see if I already have a README file here. Yes, I have. Uh, README file, let me look into here. Yes, README file. Now I will put some changes inside the readme file. I use echo here in order to put some changes at the final of the at the end of the file. Some changes. Let's add those taxes, those words in the final in the end of the file. So if I open the read file here, some changes are there. Now let me make issue a commit to that branch. Git commit minus m. Before this, I need to add the file to the staging area. Let me add status. Okay. Now I will do a commit here. Git commit. Added some changes. Added some changes. When you are working in a real team with real projects, you will want to make a more descriptive message here in order to explain what the specific commit are doing. But here, for the sake of examples and learning, I do some tiny or short description here. Now, there are a difference between the feature branch and the develop branch. Let's imagine that the develop branch is protected on my remote repository and I cannot do any kind of push force in order to reset the state of the branch. So if I check out the develop branch here, git log, I have only one commit. If I go back, switch to the feature branch, git log, now I have two commits. The commit added some changes and the initial commit. Those branches are now different in terms of commit history. So if I do some diff between those two commits, the commit added some changes and the initial commit, I will see a difference. Let's do it. Git diff, let me copy this hash. I could use the develop branch. If I use the develop branch, they will refer to the head commit of the develop branch. The head commit of the develop branch is the last commit in the commit history. So this is the head commit in the develop branch. When it turns to feature branch, this is the head commit in the feature branch. So I could only call those commits using the branch name. If I do this, I want to see the difference between the develop branch and the feature branch. Develop branch dot dot and feature. Oops, and feature. Yes, so Git spell out some format here that will show me the changes between those two references that I passed in. So I have difference between the develop and the feature branch, and the difference is the line some changes. So if I do the same using the hash of the commit here, get this hash, place it here, and get the initial commit hash and place it here. Diff, no, actually I placed the same commit, so there is no difference. Let me copy it once again. This, let me delete this hash out and place this hash. Oh, let me wait some, copy and paste. Now I have the same set of changes here, only using the hash of the commits. Okay, now let's imagine that I will merge the feature branch in the develop branch. I will do a checkout in the develop branch. Now I will merge the develop branch, the feature branch into the develop branch. Now I merged it. So if I do a git log here, now I have two commits. The commit, the initial commit that was initially in the develop branch, and they added some changes commit that was in the feature branch that I merged here. So the develop branch and the feature branch now have the same history of commits. And let's imagine that I want to get the develop branch to the previous commit. Someone could imagine that if I pop up that commit, I will be with that commit. But if you have a protected branches, that is the problem that we are facing here. You cannot do that. When you try to do a push, git push minus F in order to force the update of the remote branch, the remote repository will return an error message speaking to you or telling you that you cannot change the develop branch that way because it's for a protected branch. So you need to do some kind of trick here in order to add some commit to the develop branch in order to go back to A1DE branch or commit. Let's do it here. In order to do it, we'll try to make some kind of trick, and I will explain in the next minutes here. Let's see the difference between the head branch and the head minus one, the head commit and the head minus one commit. Yes, the difference between the head commit and the head minus one commit, or talking about the same thing but in different terms. Let's see the difference when going from that change to that change. It's the removal of the current line, the line that we actually added when we added that commit. So it's inverted from that change set. So if I want to go back to that state, I would need to perform those changes in order to go back to that stage. So I need to add a commit here that has this set of changes in order to go back to the first commit. Let's put this difference inside a diff file. Yes, so I created a div file here that has those set of changes. Now, if I want to add a commit with that set of changes, I need to git, I need to do some. First of all, I think we could create some branch here. So if I create some branch here, git feature rollback. I'm rolling back the changes that I added on feature bench. So I will create a branch here in order to open a pull request on GitHub or a merge request on GitLab. So I will apply those diff changes to my local repository. What differences? Those at the line 8, some changes. If I go to read, I removed that line. I didn't write the code here. I didn't open the file in order to make some the rollback changes. I used the git intelligence to know the difference between two commits. I used the git intelligence of getting some patched changes or a file that contains a patch that is the file, and I told Git apply those changes to my current file state. So they did it for me. And if I look at here the differences, if I look at the differences here, uh, if I look at the differences here on the README file, I removed the line 3. I removed the line 3. This will happen that my current state will be equal to my first commit. If I commit those changes, rolling back some changes, I need to first add the file. Git add readme and repeat the commit. Okay, if I do a git log here, now I have 3 commits. the initial commit, the commit that I added the changes to the file state, and the commit rolling back those changes. Now here is the interesting thing. Uh, this commit and this commit, although they have different hashes, they are the same state of repository. All the files in that commit are equal all the files in that commit. All the files in that commit are equal the files in that commit. Let's make some kind of verification here. Git, not gif, git diff. I will get this commit and the A1 commit that I already have here. A1 commit. I have no changes here. I have no changes here. If I open my div file here, okay, I will throw the changes to my div file once again. If I open my Git file, there is nothing here. There is no difference because I reverted my branch state, not only removing a commit, but adding a commit that added the changes necessary to reset the branch state to that one commit. So I will in a normal project I will push that feature branch to the remote repository, open a pull request to my develop repository in order to reset the develop branch. And here is the interesting thing: we are not breaking Git flow here. We are not breaking the flow of work of making changes to my remote repository when we are trying to put production changes into operation. So this is the easiest way that I know in order to reset some branch to a previous state, and it could be anything. It could be any commit of the history of that branch. I will be able to reset the branch state, adding one commit over it that will change my branch state to the commit that I make the difference. So that's it for now. I hope it helps you to resolve some environment concurrency problems. That helps you to reset some branches and protected branches whenever you need to do it. And that's it. I will continue to post some videos about technical things here in order to help the community, in order to engage the community doing right things and coding in a better way possible. Okay, bye.